To our awesome audience watching us from home, on the road, welcome to another great conversation here today on Voice of the Ville. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. You won't
Subscribe
get to see any of this content anywhere else.
anywhere else on the planet.
As always, I'm Jerry Cervantes, and today I'm joined by
Yours truly, Jimmy Alexandre.
Jeff Lamar, and we are
Voice of the Ville.
yes.
Awesome.
Our special guest, guys, if you don't know him by now, Mr.
I'm Tracy, Honea, Mayor of Albertville.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
Since 2012, right, Jeff?
Yeah, long time.
That's right. Thanks for having me.
Well, we appreciate
got
you
a lot of
coming
great
by.
hair from.
Yeah, I do.
a lot of wisdom, right?
I don't know about that.
How you feeling right now as we wrap up this election season, Mr. Mayor?
Well, I feel good. I mean, we're I think our community has a lot of exciting things going on, and I'm just proud to be a part of it. And we're looking for the season to be over in a couple of days, and however the chips fall, we'll move forward and everybody be happy.
Absolutely.
So, where will you be, Mayor? Tuesday night. Where will you be?
We'll have kind of a watch party, if you will, at Hydrant City here in downtown. We'll be there, and suppose the brewery, next door, folks can kind of meander there. So it's going to start at 6:30. So anybody that wants to be a part, they're welcome to come, and we'll have food provided. And so,
Did
Very
you say
cool.
food, Mayor?
absolutely, absolutely.
I was gonna say I'll probably be there, but people already sound biased in the show.
Right.
So I don't want him to say, "Hey, Jeff is being biased."
Jeff, you're biased for good food, Jeff.
I am biased
I
for
know
good
where I'm
food.
going to be for dinner.
Yes,
Tuesday
yes,
night.
yeah, prior a couple of episodes ago, we had Ben McGowan
Mhm.
on there. He's really smart guy.
Great guy.
He brought up the idea of a newsletter,
Mhm.
maybe a monthly newsletter from the
Right.
mayor's office. Um, how do you feel about that newsletter? And
I
wishing
think it's
it
I think
like
it's a
it-
great idea. We're doing a portion of that now. Robin, handles our PR,
right.
and so she's been out on maternity leave. But this is something she's been kind of working on.
Congratulations, Robin. Shout out to Robin.
Absolutely,
Yay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she's just kind of gotten kicked back in the last week or so. So she's actually has worked from home some as she could, but Robin's very dedicated and does a great job. But from the newsletter standpoint, Ben's talked about that, and
Yeah.
we're probably going to actually get Ben to help be a part of how we really put it out and just see. I mean, like I said, we're doing a portion of it now, but
Right.
areas that we need to add to, we'll be happy to do just that. So.
It's gonna be like a subscription, right? Like a weekly
No,
or
it's just
monthly?
a free newsletter, right?
Well, I don't know exactly what it'll be, but I mean,
Yeah.
but
Something where we have the
yeah,
option.
something that'll be
Yeah.
information that'll be easily had. So,
Cool.
Will it be in multiple languages?
good question, Jimmy. We will attempt to do that. I mean, that's something that
Hey,
we may. Yeah, I mean, so
yeah.
that's a great idea, and we'll try to do just that.
There's an interpreting company.
And that's one of the things.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know some people that could help.
Y'all know somebody.
people.
Y'all
Yeah.
know somebody.
Exactly.
We know them.
Phone a friend.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, that's one of the things that as I had the opportunity, the privilege here with Voice of the Ville, to live this moment of being part of a local election.
Mhm.
We're familiar how it is on the national level, but to see it happening and being so close to it so locally has been quite a ride, and it's an experience I will cherish with me. So one of the things that when we talk about the different languages that I've actually thought about was maybe for Mayor's legacy, right? Mayor Tracy Horney's legacy before you leave, leaving something behind to say that 4 years from now, that everybody has the opportunity to be educated about what this local election is, because a lot of people had no idea. They had no understanding of it. What's in it for them? What it really means, other than just see pictures there and okay, somebody else is running again. What can we do to educate these folks?
Yeah, Jimmy, that's another good question. I unfortunately, even folks that have been here and have had that right, it's a privilege that I think a lot of us take very lightly. And I think as our community grows and with the help of folks like you guys, anything we can do to help build that education side
Mm-hmm.
of the importance of how elections and just the government on any level. I mean, just being a part, and just having the ability to go vote. People don't understand how
Yeah.
important that is. So
And
It's a
I'm sorry,
privilege.
just a quick
Mhm.
follow up on that. And I thought it through, and it's a little bit more than just the people
hmm
who has the ability to vote.
that's
We
right.
have so many in our society right now, in our community right now, who cannot vote,
That's
but
right.
contribute, paying taxes and do
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
have to do, going to work,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but they cannot vote. And
Yeah.
I believe, I personally believe that we
Yeah.
have a responsibility to not leave them behind, bring them along so they are educated and know.
hmm
They know and understand the process. And maybe when that day comes where they are able to vote,
Yeah.
then they know exactly what they're doing. And that kind of alleviate, the naysayers out there and those trolls out there to get into their brain and conditioning them in certain ways. But knowledge is power, just to educate them, general.
Yeah. No, that's good. And
And that's what the show is really, because when this election started, I called Jerry, and so many people call you when you're involved in politics, and they call you and say, "Hey, who to vote for?" But when we came up with the idea with the show, is to bring everybody in there and ask them some questions, some questions about municipality to see where they at, how much research they have done to be part of municipality. Because the thing is, people are just gonna vote based on the name recognition. Yes, I know his parents. I know this guy. I know his cousin. So that's why it's important. This show have help a lot of people. I feel like, and also even have make a lot of people angry. A lot of people think I'm biased. A lot of people think, but it's kind of hard because I know every single body that sits in this chair, and I know on a personal level, and sometimes I can tell the strength of this person and the weakness of this person. So that's why a show like this is important. The voice of the Ville. You know.
Yeah,
So
giving everybody an opportunity to make their decisions based on what they see,
yeah.
and if you've been living here for 12 years, 6 years, you can see the difference that we're making day by day. So, Mr. Honey, what's some of the challenges you've faced over the past few terms?
um, God, Jerry, that's a loaded. I mean, there's I don't know how much time we've got, but I can. But when the majority of this administration came in the latter part of 12, and you know, kind of the platform at that time for me was, and I'm backing up a little bit to kind of answer the question, but I mean, growing up, raising a family here, being in business here, and just seeing things not be able to get accomplished, and for a number of reasons, but we had
Mm,
some administrations that just for whatever reason didn't get along, just couldn't get things going, and so that was really a pure motivation for me to try to to bring people together to accomplish whatever we could. Albertville, people forget, Albertville has been in a tough place for a lot of years, and retail development. You know, we had a we had the last Kmart in the state of Alabama to close, and so when we came in, it was on the downhill. I mean, it was still open, but it was headed toward the close. But within that first 6 months, it became very evident that we had to really put some focus on sales tax and whatever we could do to help grow the economy just to support our infrastructure within the city. So, from a challenge standpoint, and again, getting to your question, that was probably the number one challenge that we faced, at that time. And even today, it's still a challenge. I mean, we're not perfect, but we've navigated the waters, and from this administration, we all have worked together really hard to see some of these things through. So, there's other challenges, and we can discuss as y'all
yes, sir.
want
See,
to
that's
get
the key
into.
right there. Is before 2012, we weren't working together as a city to get anything done.
No.
And if you would have asked me and Jeff back then, somebody from out of town say, "What's cool about Albertville?" We have a Kmart. So now,
yeah, hanging out
so
in front of Kmart,
yeah,
right?
so exactly. So now we
That
have a
used to be
lot
the
more
spot.
things that
Yeah.
we attract people to
You
our city.
remember Kmart was the place when we were a kid. After when we were freshmen, we thought it was really cool to get a ride from your friend that's a senior to Kmart to go hang out. And then if there's some problem, we go settle it behind Kmart. So that was the
That's what it
fighting
went down.
arena.
Yeah,
That's what it was,
yeah.
you know. And
We'll keep those off
yeah,
camera,
we keep those on those
but
camera. Yeah, but
Now, if I
yeah.
may, because I'm still new
Hmm.
to the community, so I want to go back a little further.
Sure.
Okay, what inspired you to run for mayor, and how has your vision for the city evolved since taking office?
Uh, well, you know, going back years ago, I grew up here, graduated here. My wife did. We raised three kids, went through the school system. Was in business from my teenage years till, I mean, still in business. But just, when you grow up in a community, we've never been anywhere else. This is home. I mean, this is who we are, and so never really had any political aspirations whatsoever. But as I stated before, being in business and just being frustrated with just no movement. Albertville had a lot of rocks being thrown at it at the time, and realizing our retail. I mean, we're the largest city in the county, and we're the only city that doesn't have a Walmart. And I know most people's heard me say that, but it's a big deal when you're in a small town. Boaz and Gunnersville were smart enough to flank Walmarts just inside their city limits. And to this day, I think we have residents that think, especially the Walmart in Gunnersville, is Albertville,
I had a thought with that. I wanted to
and
keep
it's not. So that the inspiration for me was just simply that, just trying to, you know, I'm a firm believer in that you can either be part of the problem or you can be part of the solution. And so it's easy to throw rocks. It's easy to say shoulda, coulda, woulda. Why don't you? But until you get in there and see that you can try to have an impact. And so that was purely, that was pretty it for me. So
man, respect.
Yeah, I mean, you done a great job. I feel like.
All these people, Jeff, telling you that they could do much better on the show than you, make a better show. But I mean, once you actually do it, I mean, it's different.
You, the thing is saying you can do something and actually doing it, and then people have problem when you ask them how you gonna go about doing it.
Mm,
Because the thing is about the show, people can't come here and tell me about municipality because I experienced it from him, different mayors, different people, and that's already in municipality. So when there's a challenge, it takes a group of people, from the lady from the front office all the way the lady that sent the email, everybody working together. But if you got an ego, you cannot be in municipality because it's not about you. It's a team effort. And what we were facing in our city, we did not have team players.
correct.
Yeah, so
Takes a
It's not
team.
a dictatorship.
it's not a no, it's
Right.
not.
yeah,
Some
Um,
communities need a dictatorship, if you ask me. Some does. We have to call it what it is. Not everybody's ready for democracy.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
get it.
So the city, you're the mayor, right? But the city council is separate. It's two separate entity. So the city, the mayor office, there's the mayor office, there's the council. So the council would be the legislative branch, right, of the government.
I mean, council kind of lays the policy,
They lay the
ordinance
policy,
stuff,
yes.
whatever. And then, the mayor's role is to kind of carry that out, if you will. But it's still a collective, you know, effort between everybody. And even within the city, I mean, just, you've got department heads that have been here and served the city for a lot of years. And so you lean on their wisdom and their ability to you know see things. And so yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people working together to get anything done.
Right.
So
So
is,
if you lose one person on the council, perhaps that has a lot of experience, would that affect you?
well,
Would it affect the city, the economy?
you know, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, it's just hard to say. I mean, we fortunately came in, and with the exception of one, we've had pretty much the same group since the latter part of 12. Um, you know, anytime you change it up, I mean, I think as long as whoever comes in, if their heart's in the right place and they want to be a team player, and we can kind of rally around everybody and get things done. I mean, the group that we've got now, we're different as daylight and dark. I mean, there's you've got different assets to this group, but collectively, we it just works. I mean, and collectively we get together, and if we have difference in opinions, we just work through it, and nobody's you know has an agenda, whatever. So that's a hugely very important piece of the puzzle, because all communities don't have that. And so, but I would say going forward, however the chips fall, when the election comes out, my hope and prayer is that everybody, whoever's there, kind of rolls their sleeves up and tries to do things that's for the betterment of this city and its citizens.
Yes,
But
I
Mayor,
think we agree.
I agree with you, but just to put it out there, if you had your way, this is completely you had the magic line. Would you want to keep the exact same group you had right
Well, I mean, sitting in my place, it's kind of hard to say, but I mean,
Yes,
I will
sure.
say this
Yeah.
group has worked really well together, and I think everybody's committed, and just like I said, I don't feel like we have to worry about different agendas, and again, we're different. We don't always agree on things, but for the most part, we you know, and I'm not. I think the track record shows
now?
that the stuff that's here, you know, it doesn't come easy. I mean, and if you're not from this area and you're trying to recruit or trying to bring something in, it's a tougher sale than what people realize. And we've got folks that have been a part of this even long before we got here. I mean, Jerry Cofield is one that I think you guys are familiar with. He was the airport. He's been involved with the airport for years, and he was the airport director for years, and he was the first economic development director within the city. And he, to this day, Jerry's a huge cheerleader for our city. And after Jerry came along, and I'm speaking just in that role, Melody Witten was in that role for a period of time and did a great job. And she was, sold out for Albertville, trying to see good things happen. And Mike Price is now in that role, and Mike has a commercial banking, background, and so he's good at what he does in that role. And so collectively as a team, we've just kind of worked together in that. So um, I can't say enough about the importance of teamwork, and it doesn't matter even from the within the city. But one of our first goals or first things we really strive to do way back was, you know, between their utilities, we've got a great utility board with MUB. Um, I think we've got a great school board and got a great relationship with those folks. Our Chamber of Commerce, any entity that helps prosper or has the potential to help move the city forward in any capacity, I think need to be linked arm in arm and try to work together as much as you can. So I think we've done that.
So continued economic growth is a must. Where how do you plan on to attract more high paying industry, high tech industry in Albertville?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, here again, I mean, I think Albertville is very fortunate to have. I think we're over 25 industries within the city limits of Albertville currently, and we're very diverse. I mean, more so than what people realize. Now, could we use more? Absolutely. I mean, but we've got three, industrial parks now. I mean, you've got where Mueller, Mueller's company's been here since the 70s. They just celebrated their 50th year, 5 millionth fire hydrant capital of the world, and we're very proud of that company. And another company that hasn't had as much notoriety, but Paragon, the Glasgow family, just celebrated 50 years of being here with that group as well. Newman Technology is a company that's fairly new, coming in, and I think they were here in like 12 or 13. And several of our companies have had expansions. But recruiting a industry, it's especially over the last few years, there's been, that's a tough edge to do. But I do think we're very fortunate to have what we have, and as you guys know, poultry is a big part of that. A lot of people like to throw rocks at the poultry industry. It's an industry that's been here for probably 90 plus years. I mean, we're probably four generations of people that have raised families in that industry, and um, you know, there's a lot of jobs that are created, and some of those jobs are higher paying jobs today than they were several years ago. So, um, I think there's still a lot of opportunity to bring new stuff in. I think our airport has some potential there with ASP coming in. There's a lot of, Sneed State is fixing to expand the aviation college there. So there's a lot of, I think, positive momentum and a lot of potential for us just with the proximity to Huntsville. So it's all like everything. It's a work in progress, and but I think Albert's got a very bright future in that field as well.
What's in your mind, Jerry?
My mind is I heard Mr. Honey from several sources loves spicy food. Is that true, Mr.
That's
Honey?
true. That's true.
I snitch on it.
I heard,
probably
yeah,
did,
something
yeah.
like that, right?
What's the tobacco sauce?
Oh yeah.
I forgot it.
Yeah. It's no secret. Anybody that knows me, Tabasco is probably my favorite. I'll put on anything, but when it comes to Mexican food or any other food that has a little spice to it, I'm usually I usually have to try it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
he eats Haitian food.
Oh yeah.
Pickles.
He tries.
I have to have somebody to order for me.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how to order, but
But
it's good.
ordering fish, big old fish.
Yeah.
He comes out, he was turning red.
So,
Yeah.
at Gordo's, were you a red sauce or a green sauce guy?
Ah, man, I love them both.
Both.
I really do. Yeah.
He eats at. I have respect for that. He eats at every restaurant there is.
Yeah.
Even some of them, I'm like, Mayor, you shouldn't eat here. One restaurant.
Well,
You shouldn't go eat here.
That's another thing. People. I mean, we're extremely blessed to have as many restaurants as we have. I mean, you think about the Mexican restaurants we have in town. And I've not eaten at all of them, but there's a lot here. It's not just. I mean, there's so many mom and pop, businesses. From Giovanni's to Papa Doobie's to, some of these guys, Doug and Wendy with bootleggers and Maters, Leslie, and so I have a lot of appreciation and respect for these guys, and the Roys with Jesse's Cafe. He's been here for years, and it's hard to make your rounds to all the restaurants. I mean, because I can't tell by looking at it, but I don't always eat lunch, and it's just but I try really hard to support all of our local restaurants as best we can. So
Yeah, you go to the Sand Mountain Park almost every day, right? You're up there getting it.
well, I wouldn't say that. I've been known to do it, but I'm a little on the lax side right now. I've had a little bit of lower back issue last year, so I'm having to kind of take it easy on
I
that.
heard when I go walk my
I heard
miles,
you
I
were
see
part
you.
of the yoga class.
Yeah. He's in there.
No yoga. We're part of the spin class for
Spin
quite a while.
class.
Actually,
If
since
y'all know
we-
Trish, she's a slave driver at the park.
Since
So
we are in the park, a lot of our guests is, even more so in the opposition, does talk a lot about the park. And I think we've clarified quite a bit as far as, people can literally see for themselves the good that the park is actually doing for the community. Talk to us a little bit about that, because there's been a lot of backlash at the park, has put us in debt.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, yeah, and I've heard some of that, but I mean, and I think Nathan did a really good job of kind of breaking some of that down, so I won't try to reiterate. But yes, we took on debt with the park, but the park planning process was, man, it was a long time coming. I mean, the rec center had plans initially, but when that started, we brought in a couple of different universities to do feasibility studies. We brought people in from the public school systems, band directors, coaches, business people. And yes, in 2017, we passed a 1 cent sales tax that would help fund the park as well as capital improvement stuff. So, But the park itself, even the rec center back in the day, I mean, it was a total loss. I mean, from a revenue standpoint. So the park is actually functioning above what we felt like it would do, from economic development stuff, the things it has brought in. I mean, the sales tax dollars speak for themselves in that sense and what has come. And one of the telltales to me is, you know, we've got our third hotel extended stay that's, about to be under construction, and it's, the investment, same investors that did the Hampton Inn are doing this project. So, if you're invested in the Hampton Inn here in town and it's not doing well, are you going to invest in another hotel in the same city?
No.
So, and that's just one aspect. I mean, so the park it has truly been a shot in the arm, and there's multiple reasons. And I'm a firm believer. I mean, all you guys are young, and for me to see our quality of life come about, and for our young people, y'all were talking about Kmart a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
There's more to do here today than there was 15 years ago, and
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it takes money to make money, and it takes debt to do, and this is, and again, I think Nathan did a really good job of explaining, but it's a glorified household. I mean, it's most anybody that's never been in debt, but it's how you manage that debt and how you go about. And I can assure you, the things that we put in play and the decisions we made have been very, very well thought out. And so, again, all of these, the debt, a huge percentage of the debt is tied to revenues. And again, we can get into more detail, but without trying to just, but so, and not to mention, I mean, something that, doesn't get brought out, there's very strict guidelines going through and how you get to this point but S&P, the city got a credit upgrade earlier this year, and that was the fourth we've gotten in the last few years. And those don't come easy. I mean, if your personal credit scores, I mean, if you fall behind, or you don't have the revenue, or you don't make the money, I mean, so it's vital, and it's been extremely important to this administration that we maintain as high a credit rating as we possibly can, because that helps in our rates. It helps in everything that we do. So, school system again is doing a good job in that. They just got a credit rating upgrade as well. So
That's good.
Speaking of the school system, I'm sorry. Speaking of the school system, another conversation I think it was with Ms. Oakley that we had this conversation with whether or not the members of the school board should be elected versus appointed. What's your stand on that?
Jimmy,
that was a
if you
question.
may ask that again to the mic.
Yeah, to the mic. It's not speaking at all.
I'm sorry. I have a natural.
We're relaxing.
It was
Natural
that was a
voice.
Nathan. That was a Nathan question.
They're going to hear me either way, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, for those of you who wanna get a little bit more as far as that goes, yes, we do definitely advise you to go look at the episode where Mr. Nathan did go into details breaking that down.
Yeah.
So definitely check that out for more information. It's a world of knowledge right there. Yeah. So what I was looking into was as far as the school system, when we talk about the school board, right?
mm-hmm.
Right now we have a system where we basically appoint individuals,
Right.
whereas some other cities actually elect the individuals.
Most, from what I think, most counties have elected, and I don't know if it's because counties are typically spread out more. I don't know what the rationale. But most of your cities are appointed school boards. I could probably take it either way, but if I had a preference, I feel like appointed school boards are the better on a local level, especially if it's within a city. I feel like we've had a really good school system, a good school board for a lot of years. So that system, in my opinion, is working well. And if I was picking, I would say appointed.
Yeah.
From somebody that doesn't know much about it, like to me, it sounds like someone that's up in there gets a tailor-made choice of who they So,
Well, yeah, there's two people that vets on the
mhm,
council. I mean, but I feel like
Well, that's the whole council.
the
it's
whole
a whole
council.
council
That's a
decision,
council
and
decision.
it forced the candidate to do research because now you're not just electing the candidate based on name recognition. Okay, so now you just like doing your research, knowing what the job is, and then you have to stand in front of the council members for the interview, to pass it. Linda, what's in your mind?
No, I'm learning
We're
about
learning.
that process.
But I think
Yeah.
the school board it's really no different from the council. I think to me, trying to find those people and search out those people that have a heart for the kids, heart for the school, and want to make
They don't
decisions
get
on
paid,
those because
right?
I was fortunate enough to serve from '01 to '06, and at
Mm.
that time my kids were all in school. And I was asked, I don't even remember exactly, but I was asked from some of the council at that time. It was done a little different. I think they kind of maybe reached out to folks. So, you know, but I think, you learn real quick in that, you don't really, a school board is there to assist and help and make decisions. And, as long as you got folks in there that are making decisions that's best for those kids
Right.
and the teachers. But again, I feel like we've had a very, very productive board, especially now. I think we're headed in a really good direction with the leadership that we have there. So,
You mentioned they don't get paid for it, so it's a volunteer
yeah,
Yeah,
position.
it's a
school board is.
volunteer
So
position.
anybody can volunteer, and then they elect who they want to go ahead and put on that board.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But
That's a
let
better
me
understanding.
let me say this. Let's go back to the park, right? I remember when you took those pictures with uh Robert Idaho when he newly were elected, and the picture was making the round online, and you were like a folk hero because you built the park, and then now you got some people online being upset at the mayor. Now all these people started bashing him because of the park. It is the same people. If you go read those, there's a pictures online. I think it might be on Robert Idaho page. But if you go down, you'll see those comments. The
Mm.
same people now that's bashing the park is the same people that's making great comment. Oh, good job, mayor. Money well spent. It's on there.
Hey, well, it's a good thing to change your mind when you see something's right.
I mean, it is a good thing, but I'm just
I
saying,
give them
it's
some
just like it
grace.
sounds like these people have probably an agenda.
Well,
That's
Hmm.
more the same thing, and I think a lot of it is probably people
Oh.
coming into the community
Oh.
that they don't like, and they're
Yeah.
saying stuff because I'm like, there's more to it than just we're growing. Who don't want growth? You
Hmm.
know, I love growth. The park selling me at least 3 cars a month because somebody will buy a car. Hey, where you going? Oh, I'm going to practice with my daughter right now,
Yeah.
and we want to kill some time. I'm going to Spilling Tea next door, so I'll stop by the dealership because my daughter's going to turn 16. So that's awesome for me. And not only that, Airbnb is booming.
Yep.
My friend Mark, he makes a killing when there's a concert on Airbnb.
Hotels sell out.
Hotels, yes,
Restaurants are full.
yep,
I mean, it's good for
everything. It's
everybody.
good for
And not
everybody.
just tourists, but then us that live here, we get to go to
Yeah,
the rec center anytime we want to. Go make
yeah,
our miles, go hit the gym, play
exactly.
basketball. I mean, it's
Go
a
do yoga.
yeah,
You be doing
spin
yoga.
class.
I'm just messing with you.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yoga's hard, man.
Yoga is hard, yeah.
It's difficult, but
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do at the park. But I would love to see the growth continue. What how many people you think live in here? Though, if you could give me an estimation of how much our
I mean,
population is.
the last census didn't change that much from the 2010. It went from 22 and some change in 10 to the 2020, which was in the middle of COVID. So there was not, I don't feel like there was an accurate count, but even then it was 20, I won't say 23, 24,000. So I feel like it's more than that.
There's a lot more people.
What that is, I think any of us would be speculating, but
There's at least 10,000 Haitians. There's at least 10,000.
yeah.
It's everywhere. Like,
everywhere.
yeah, you go somewhere.
Mm.
It's like Haitians are everywhere, man. Like
yeah.
Arab.
And I hear that the counting's
Certainly.
very important for our school
Yeah, it
systems.
is. and people are scared to do the report, like, to, back to the census, because they think that, oh, it has to do with immigration, but really it don't have anything to do with
Nothing.
immigration.
Scared to hide it.
Yeah,
Getting that
it,
information.
it, it it's important that we get those numbers. The since we started having a lot of housing shortage around here, is there anything the city is doing to ease up, the make it easier for builder to come in and develop housing
Hmm.
for our citizen?
Well, I mean, there's actually, I think that's going to be a surge you're going to see in the next 2 or 3 years. I mean, there's already other developments. There's more developments going on or in the hills of, getting started than we've seen in the last several years. I mean, you've got a decent size apartment complex that could be coming. There's probably 2 or 3 different housing developments that's going on, and those, most of which are going to be in that affordable. When I say affordable, the median income folks that can afford, can buy a house that's not $500,000 house. So even though there's some of those being built too, and that's part of, I think there's got to be a balance where you get, the high end, what you can, and then the lower side. But, yeah, housing has been but I think that's across probably the United States, but in North Alabama as a whole, that's been a thing.
Well,
So
while we on housing, it was one of the things that makes you happy, and previous shows you probably know how passionate I get about this. When
let's
it comes
pick
to
up a little bit.
housing, yeah, when we dealing with the mayor just give me a very calm, smoothing feeling.
I know.
I just want to sit back
Yeah.
and talk to
He's
mayor
just
all day.
zen.
Yeah.
So I don't have to get all
Sure.
you keep me calm. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
You try that all the time, and it's hard sometimes. But yes, the the issue that I found is
Mhm.
that the housing has gone up, and I know we've discussed this, and we know that a lot of it is not necessarily with the community itself. It's with the bank, with percentages, rates going up, and so on. But at the end of the day, we are in a city where some folks having to pay,
Yeah.
$1,500 for an apartment
Hmm.
that a couple of years ago was four,
Yeah.
five, maybe
Yeah.
600. So that's like a
Yeah.
100% increase.
And that's a little hard for me to explain as well, because I do feel like some of it, not just here. I mean, but I think if you look at North Alabama as a whole, you know, the rates have gotten, of course, you've got inflation, you've got interest rates were 3 years ago were probably half of what they are now. I mean, especially even on investment stuff. So I think that plays a part. Supply and demand obviously plays a part in that as well. So, I think probably the more we could get to a place where we could encourage people to buy, and make it affordable
Mm.
for those people to buy is something that we, should try to strive to do as well.
I definitely agree. I like the idea to try to gear people towards buying. Because truth of the matter is, while the rate does play a role,
Hmm.
but we also do have those who literally take advantage
Oh, I
and
agree.
runs
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
And we see that even things such as trailer homes. I brought a family to that was looking for apartment to a trailer property, and inside looks really decent. They did a decent job
Yeah.
trying to put it together, but outside was,
Yeah.
literally like an old can. And then you look at the price for that thing. Yeah, I remember when I first came here, the trailer home was $400 a month.
Yeah.
Now it literally went more than 100% more.
Wow.
Mm.
Well, at the end of the
Basically,
day,
$150
it's a
a
free
month.
market, and these people don't have to pay. But when there's not a lot of inventory out there, that's part of it too. So, um, but yeah, a lot of that surprises me as well. I mean, it's, um, but I think for those factors that we've talked about, that's probably part of the rationale on it. But hopefully as we can move forward and there's other housing opportunities out there, some of that will not be the case, going forward. So.
Because there's a couple of things when it comes to buying. I know some of the issues out there. Of course, we got credit. Some people are just not educated about their credit.
Hmm.
Again, they need to get educated how to get that information to those. And then we also have the immigration status.
Hmm.
That is also another issue that can become a barrier
Yeah.
to being able to purchase a home. Um, So as I speak to people, especially during this election, and a lot of our students, it just one very common question. It's like, well, what is the city's going to do about it? And it's just say, look, some of those things are not at the city level. This is where it's at.
Yeah.
It's I guess it could get a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, I mean it's I mean there's anything the city can do to assist in some of these matters I think is good, but it's not the city's responsibility in so many of these cases. I mean, I mean there's as you've talked about even on the national level, I mean even the citizenship stuff. I mean this stuff gets so convoluted in how you come to, you know, I would love to see there be an easier path for citizenship. I mean, there's folks here that probably don't need to be here. There's folks that if they're not legal and they've got background criminal stuff, they've got, you know, we need to figure out a system that works through that. But if there's folks that have been here and through whatever the United States have been through over the years that has allowed these people to be here and then not be able to gain citizenship, I'm perplexed at that. On a local level, it really puts a hard. I don't know how we don't have the choice to handle that, but I would love to hope and pray that our, you know, federal government can come to a place to realize there's really good people. I mean, I'm talking about people that's been here 20, I mean, a number of years that deserve to be citizens, and so that's a tough place. So, I mean, as the old saying goes, there's lots of opportunities to go around, and I mean, just there's things that I think if here again collectively we've and that's just not even on a local level, but collectively we've got to work together to figure out how to deal with that in a more positive way. So
So, what do you think about some of the rhetoric out there that some of these people that we're speaking on have no contribution to the city? Is that true?
like who?
For example, like undocumented.
Well, I mean, no, I disagree with that. I mean, I think anybody that's here, that's spending money, that's living here, that's being a part of this society is contributing. I mean, it goes back to who should, who shouldn't. And it's so hard to walk down the street and know who is, who's not. And for our community as well as lots of other communities throughout this country, through the poultry industry and some other industries that really bring, um, you know, Latinos, Haitians, immigrants, whatever the case may be over the years. Um, it's just, it's a challenge, and I think, us trying to work with the companies to handle that in a more positive way and try to get the documentation right. And even those companies trying to help their employees get, you know, to a better process to where they can get legal. But again, there's such a breakdown, and I don't claim to be the one that knows what the answers are. I just know that we need to be finding them. So,
Right. It's no secret that these people are motivated to
oh,
work.
absolutely. Yes.
They pay their share. They need clothes. They need food.
That's
Yeah.
right.
They pump gas. They buy
They buy
Yeah.
cars.
cars.
They rent
Yeah.
houses. So
But when they can't buy insurance and they can't get a license,
Mm.
Mhm.
that's a tough, and
Yeah.
when they can't go borrow money or can't do certain
Mhm.
things. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not, that's if it's people that should be here, let's find a way to help them.
I think
Let's find a way.
some of the stuff that he's talking about, like people that the, the thing that's happening in the Haitian community right now, it's like they have a license, it's up to date, but their immigration status caused the license, even though the license is up to date, but the license still is expired.
Hmm.
So they get pulled over by cops. The license that said is valid is invalid.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? It's not like they're sending them a
Mhm.
letter saying that, hey, your new license is expired. They don't know that. They're driving. They get in an accident. Call insurance company. Oh, sir, you don't have a license. You know,
Mm-hmm. Which creates a problem.
and it creates a problem. And then there's another industry that's been created with the illegal. I call it the illegal immigration problem in this community become I would say a business, because if you're a pretty young girl, you want to go work at the chicken plant, somebody has to sleep with you, or somebody has to take money from you, and we heard about it a lot. Just to go work at a chicken plant. What is something that your administration can do to stop some of this problem that we have in our community right now? I know the license part of it, that would be like a state legislature, like Brock and Miss Gina Ross and all these people. That'd be. I feel like the license that question would be that, but I'm talking about girls and men being taken advantage of to go work at the plant. What is
Well,
something you
I mean,
guys can
first of
do?
all, we need to, law enforcement involved. I mean, there's situations where they've got to be able to prove that that's happening, and if there's people that's willing to step up and speak out. I mean, we talked about that a little bit in the past, and I think certainly our chief and folks. I mean, and even within the investigative, but even bringing the county folks in, if that's true. I mean, I'm not doubting it. It's not going on, but I'm saying if it's a real thing, then we've got resources that can help with that. But it's like a lot of other things. You've got to have people that are willing to
Speak up.
speak up, and so
There it is.
I would encourage any if that's a thing and we need to get some help, then by all means let's try to.
Don't you think maybe in the next 4 year, I think there are sex trafficking in Alabama, believe it or not. There's a lot of sex trafficking in here. Do you think that the administration can focus and partnering up? What was that meeting that we had at the Harbor City with you remember you were there, and
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Braid? Do you think your administration, your police department can work with those guys and do a task force, including having the Haitian Creole interpreters, the teachers and stuff, and try to the pastors, and not only the Haitian, the Mexican community, the Colombian community, the African community, and then try to solve that problem with sex trafficking.
Absolutely. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's white. I mean, it doesn't. That part doesn't matter if that's going on.
Yeah.
I think our folks would be on board 100% to assist in whatever. I mean, through the DA's office. I know Steve Marshall. That was a thing that they discussed that night. So
Right.
if there can be a task force, and that's I think is something that they're talking about doing,
Right.
and so by all means, I would say yes. I would venture to say every agency within this county, from cities to, would all be on board to do that. So.
Because there is a group of people in this community. There's a side of this community a lot of people don't get to see. And I would say maybe Jerry, maybe Jimmy and Linda, I know you two for sure see that the people that don't have a voice, those pastors at those churches don't stand up for them. When I'm talking about pastors, I'm talking about Haitian pastors. Haitian leaders don't stand up for them. They don't have a voice. So they come to us with their problems, and they come to us with their situation. They're scared to go to the police station and report the problems. So I feel like if we're going to have a community, we all need to have a seat at the table and then talk about the difference problem that we have. And I would love to see that from this administration the next 4 year. I would like to see the city, and we have been doing some of that where we go and do community visit with Chief Carty in the past. But I would like to see more of that since we are the biggest city in Marshall County. I would love to see Albertville be an example on stuff like that, on community growth. And not only that, education is important because a lot of people don't understand how to live here. They don't know how to cut the grass. They don't know how to speak English. Like we have an English school, but it's funded out of pocket. There's so much there's so much love we can have for Abbeville. But eventually our money's gonna run out. Our resources gonna run out. Really, I think that the city should be investing in something like that because those people they pay their taxes, they buy in Abbeville, and they buy local. They go eat at Gordo's. They eat everywhere. They buy carts for me. They pay taxes. So I feel like that education is important because we're teaching them English, and in 3 months, right?
4 months.
4 months. We teach them English, and then they go get a Sienna job.
Yeah, ready for work.
Yeah. So
Interviews. And if I may
yeah.
add to what you were saying, Jeff, it really goes beyond that. A lot of these companies, they will go and outsource to different organizations that are located elsewhere to call in and to translate to use those services. But what's more important than when you in the community yourself, and providing for the community, trying to basically keeping it within the community to build within the community because you actually understand, versus somebody who's just sitting somewhere and just picking up the phone and they're trying to repeat word for word. And from our experiences, a lot of it is just horrible at best. A call that could have literally last 30 minutes will take 2 hours.
3 hours.
And then at the end, the individual have no
No-
idea,
no
end
idea
up
what
doing the
happened.
wrong thing, and who becomes the victim? They're still the individual. Because that's what they were told. Why? Because the translation was horrible at best. So there's so much
Yeah.
that goes into it.
Like our language line at the Abbeville Police Department, horrible. And an accident. Hello, did he do? Like what? You got an interpreter.
And
It's
a
like
lot of
they
the
speak.
folks,
The guy that's you translate speak more
more
English.
English. That's what I was fixing to say.
Like how, and then the cops can arrest that guy for resisting. Well, your
Why? 'Cause
interpreter's no
he was
good,
not,
man.
He was not properly educated.
It's not properly educated, So like I know that like city has to get like cheaper source. They have to, they have to. Quality is key.
I thought we had some pretty good interpreters. I mean, this is the first I've really heard of that, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean the language line. I don't think so. I mean, I own a lot of contracts to the language line. I personally do. Through a company, through multiple company, language solution.
Yeah,
But
of course they've got.
We own a lot of contracts.
They've got a few people on staff now that helps with interpreting as well. So,
yeah.
But any of that we can improve on, that you guys can say, hey, here's been an issue, then
yeah,
there's plenty of areas that we can do a better job at, and if that's one of them we need to get on, then just let us know. If y'all feel like there's better sources out there, obviously you got a good rapport with Chief Carty, so let him know who and where and how to get that set up, and I don't see that being a problem.
My thing with that is that I'm agreeing here with the language, because knowledge is power.
Yep.
And our best investment is going to be to give knowledge to our citizens. From students to this community to that community, we're all one community.
Sure.
So let's invest into knowledge.
Yep.
But the people that don't like to hear that, because I know there's a lot of people out there. Well, they're illegal. They're this and that. Okay, the city. We're not the federal government.
Yeah. I would encourage you guys, especially with what y'all doing with your show. If there's areas where y'all can help us with whatever education, whatever y'all feel like may be an asset for us to be able to put into play, we're more than willing to try to help.
I would
love audience. I hope the audience heard that. Please help us out. Yes. Help us help you.
Yes.
Figure out these
if we can stream
solutions.
It's important. I would love to see the city engage with the English school, definitely. Because there was a gentleman here. I would say I'm not gonna say his name, but you know what I'm talking about. He took thousands of dollars from the Haitian people in the community. You know who I'm talking about, Mayor, but I'm not gonna say his name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. But
of course,
it start with a J, but I'm not gonna say the rest.
But I love palm trees.
Yeah, but yeah. So it's important that we have those services in place to help the community, and not only that, educate the people. Those little booklet that you used to come out from City Hall. We used to pass them around. I think more of that help. I mean, I think the city is the cleanest it has ever been. Yeah.
If I may actually suggest that as we have this conversation, as we say, we are Voice of the Ville. We have Spanish speaking, we have Haitian Creole speaking, and we all speak English. Maybe that's something the city may want to look into. putting into our hand the responsibility to be able to provide these type of shows in those different languages that we put out there. And maybe that's one source. So
Maybe.
when
Yeah.
information comes,
Sure.
let's reach out to them and we'll be able to see here just like we're doing right now.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
this is what Mayor is releasing, for example, the newsletter,
Yeah.
to be able to communicate that in all those different languages.
Yeah.
Not only they're gonna read it, they'll be able to hear it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, as we move forward, there's, we all know there's obstacles, opportunities, places that we could do a better job collectively. I mean, city needs to step up in certain areas. Then, we've got folks that are willing to do whatever we need to do, and if we need to empower more people to do, and obviously leaning on folks like you guys that care about the community and whatever we can do to help move the educational side forward. I personally don't think it's that costly to do some of what y'all are saying, and I certainly feel like we can play a part in that. So,
All right. Where do you see the city in the next 5 to 10 years?
I feel like the city's in a really good place. I think that, as I've mentioned, culture, I think our younger people coming back, investing, and, it's exciting to me, and people have heard me say this, but having, younger folks coming in and investing in businesses and buying homes and, um, you know, that's cool. I think the park's playing a part in that. There's a lot of work that we can do to improve in some areas. Um, I think continuing to grow the economy from economic development is going to be a huge factor. I mean, we've got projects that are in the works, as we know, but infrastructure wise, from paving or continuing the paving side of things, and there's just a lot that's in the, and I think Apple's got a bright future, and I really hope and pray that we all can get behind each other and move things in a positive way. I mean, you know, creating better processes and things. And I know, we've talked about the city and the cleanliness there. There's a lot of efforts being put into play with ordinance right now, and that is an area that we can do a better job at, and we're going to continue striving to do those things. But as a whole, I mean, I just feel like Apple's got a bright future, and I'm excited. And I know the voting day is day after tomorrow, and I know we'll all be glad when it's here and gone. And just like I said to start with, however the chips fall, the sun's going to shine tomorrow, and we all need to rally behind whoever's there, and let's help Albertville be as good as it can be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like
This no administration is going to be perfect, but
That's right.
I mean, I can certainly speak for a large percentage that we appreciate the trial and error, working together to fix things that's going to work. And sometimes you may not know if it's going to work,
Yeah,
but
that.
us.
As a citizen, what I'm concerned
Mm,
about, I already know what I have now. So I don't know what I'm gonna have in the future.
mhm.
But I like what I have now, and I pray for what I have now.
Yeah, and
I
some of
just
us seen how it was
yeah,
before,
I've seen how it
the
was.
tornadoes and
Yeah,
times like that, and seeing people personally out there helping clean up, and
yeah.
that spirit is has pushed this city forward to
yeah.
this day.
It's the Albertville spirit.
Albertville's got,
Yeah,
folks, y'all know this, but Albertville's got a lot of good people, and our team of employees between our police and fire and street departments, everybody, they're so committed and they're passionate about their jobs. And from this administration, we've been very committed in trying to get their pays in line with where they need to be, and that's part of, again, whoever's in there, that needs to be a standard that we need to continue doing, and without the sales tax dollars, you can't do. I don't care what anybody says. If you don't have money to make things happen like that, you can't do it. And so it's extremely important that we create as positive an image as we possibly can for our community, in an effort to bring new things in, as we're seeing now. So we're very fortunate to have what we've got and what's coming. So again, I just want to encourage us all, and lift each other up, and let's enjoy life.
And speaking of our great city employees, did we just get a new raise for city employees? Did I just read that?
Well, it's in the work. I mean, the budget has
works.
not. I mean, but it's in the works. So hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks we'll have a little more information put together.
Where I
on
read
that. So,
2%,
what a
2%
2%
just
raise. Yeah,
yeah, we hadn't had
Not
one
yet.
in the city
Not
yet. That's
okay.
maybe the county. I think I read something where,
Something like
and they
that.
maybe,
Oh, the county, that's what it
Yeah.
was.
yeah,
Okay.
maybe somebody else, I think, but yeah, we haven't put anything out yet.
And
So
it's
we're-
been what, 75% up since
Mhm.
12?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
been
yeah.
hard.
We've made some dramatic,
Yeah.
strides, and for whatever reasons, the city had gone several years without raises, and so we're really working hard to try to.
I saw a comment where somebody said back in 2010 they would not do work for the city. You saw that one, right?
Yeah.
On one
Yeah.
of the videos, because the city will pay them. They have to wait for the fund to hit their account to clear
Yeah.
the check. And by the way, the city owed me some money.
Yeah.
Not your administration, but
No,
prior
but I mean
administration owed me
it was
some
there.
money.
I mean I get it, and that's what I'm saying. The first 6 months we were in, I was literally scared to death because
Yeah.
there was no money. I mean, it's just and that's just it.
I
So
mean, but
I was very motivated for us to do everything we possibly could to raise our revenues, because if you don't have revenues, again, it's just like your home, guys. I'm telling you, if you either got it or you don't, and if you don't have it, you can't spend it.
I mean, that's why this election is important. I mean, I think it's one of the most important election here locally in our lifetime, because here goes, we have the growth, we're booming, little booming economy. Yeah, you said there's debts, but any economy without debt, little city economy without debt, is a stagnant city.
Any
It's
business.
any business. You need debt to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, I'm in the car business. We use flow blend to make money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's debt, but we pay it off as we go, right? So I feel like we growing, and we got a good thing going. It's important these people go out and vote. Don't vote for people because you know them. Vote for what we have now, because we have a beautiful thing. But I guarantee you, if we just don't analyze everything, we can go backward. I seen it. You seen country go backward. Look at Haiti, the most beautiful nation. It used to be the most beautiful nation in the Caribbean, right? And then after Papa Doc, what we've been doing, going backward.
A lot
I mean,
goes
there was
into
growth.
that.
Yeah,
A lot goes into that.
yeah,
But
lots goes into going
if
backward.
I understand correctly, Jeff, what you're saying,
Hmm.
it's time to keep moving in the right direction.
Yes,
Is
we
that
need
what
to
you're
move
saying?
in the right direction, man. I mean, politics is like, politics is interest. My interest is my pocketbook. That's just me, personally, as a businessman, as a business owner. If Albertville is declining, then I'm gonna look down the road in Gunnersville to see if I can go put my lot there, because they're moving up. That's just the way it works, and that's how business leaves slowly. Because once this business leave, then the other business leave, that business leave.
Comes a domino effect.
Yeah, the domino
So
effect.
we
That's
got to
how it
build.
is. So it's very important that, I think personally, Mayor, I think one person can slow down growth if they don't know what they're doing. I
Oh
really
yeah.
do. And on like I'm talking about your legislator, like
Mhm.
Rich. Like, let's say you get one person in there, because if I'm in politics, I'm in there. I'm gonna try to get everybody to vote to be on board with me on what I'm doing, because a councilman is a kind of like a lobbyist. You have to lobby your agenda within that group. How do you do that? You build personal relationship with each person in that group, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I have a really really bad idea, or I'm not somebody with a vision at all, or I'm somebody that people are controlling behind the scene,
Okay.
I can go and lobby, and here goes the growth. Here goes the nice stuff we have.
Yeah, we certainly got to
Yeah,
appreciate
we gotta appreciate
our
it.
results, our
Yes.
experience, stuff like that. And anybody that's going to come to a new team needs to
Hmm.
be willing to be a team player. So let's just
Exactly.
make sure we're all going towards the same goal.
Exactly.
In the current administration, if we're looking at it, you guys have had years to iron out your differences and figure out your groove and your flow with each other when making very important decisions, which shows itself because of the growth, the current growth that we see now, where we're at now,
Yeah.
and the trajectory of that. So that's something
Something to be considered.
to be
So
considered.
I guess with that said, when you're going out there and you're going to vote in a couple of days, you got to take all these things into consideration. You may say, okay, yes, we love Mayor and Mayor has done a phenomenal job. We're going to move forward with Mayor. But if we making choices, that's also going to make Mayor's job difficult. Then there's a ripple effect that can come to Understood. That's what I'm gathering. I'm understanding from everything we say here. Um,
I mean, we have had everybody on the show, but Charles Bailey and Bonnie. Charles Bailey, not many requests, but I think people like him. Miss
And we
Bonnie,
would
she's
love to
sweet.
have a conversation with
Well, yeah,
him
we would
as
love to
well,
have a
coming up in the future.
conversation with him.
Tight
And
schedule right now.
yeah,
But Miss Bonnie,
Miss
she
Bonnie,
she
I just
felt out rejected.
she just she
Never
canceled.
responded.
Well, she responded, but she canceled something. Like I was like, hey, what about this day? But the thing is, like, you cannot run for office and you scared to come and be asked questions.
well,
But
everybody has busy schedules. I mean, we're here on Sundays, and I mean, you got to make priorities. So,
Absolutely. Are the people of Albertville important enough to come here and sit and say, look, it doesn't matter how big or how small the show is, we want you to hear what I have to say. Look, we have the mayor here. Talk about busy. The mayor's sitting here giving his time to talk to you to, hey, is there any questions that we have to let you know he care enough for the community?
and
So,
if you're that busy, how you gonna run city council? I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna be in council. Even as a part-time job. I mean, you have to, you got to master your craft. Put in
priorities.
work in, right?
Yes, sir.
So, but with that said, I do have a question. Let's go back. Let's bring it back to mayor. So 12 years. If we get 4 more, that's gonna give us 16 years. Will there be 20?
Jury's still out. I mean, if you'd have told me the first time I ran, I would have probably said 2 terms would have been enough. And I think probably in most cases that might be what needs to happen. But I think in our case, we didn't even get the ball rolling. I mean, again, there's been a tremendous amount of effort and work that's been put into every project that we've had, and so probably the only reason, not really the only reason, but the big reason I ran again this time was just to see projects, the Target, the entertainment center. There's other stuff that's in the mix that we want to see through fruition, and so another 4 years goes by, we'll see what that looks like, and I'm I've told several folks I'm not interested in being a ball hog, but I want to get a root system put in that is strong enough that hopes this place is for years to come in a better place, and I want to leave it in a better place than we found it, kind of thing. So, if you don't have the right management abilities and the right people that surrounded the whole situation to move things forward, you could mess it up. So that's kind of where we're at. So
They said I have
thank
to
you.
be controversial. So, based on that, I think that's a perfect segue, right?
Sure.
So, right now, today, let's say you was going to go ahead and pass that baton.
Mm-hmm.
That you've made your decision, everything,
Pass the torch to the
you're
younger
going to go ahead
generation.
and pass it to the next person.
Yeah.
Do you have anybody in mind that you feel right now today would be ready to take that on?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a handful of folks out there.
No.
But I'm not gonna.
We don't want the politics.
Well, this is not. Hey
I
Jeff.
am
No
not-
political
No,
answer.
no.
I'm
Hey
sure
Jeff,
there's
he asked the question. Let me answer.
Hey, and I think there's probably 6 people in city council that could do a
I
good
think-
job for us.
I think there's only 2, in my opinion.
Well, I don't know. I mean, again,
I think it's.
we'll see.
Is
Yeah,
it
we
even
shall
a
see.
council?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, there's definitely some there that's very qualified, and but
Are you scared?
that's
to
for
lose
another
them?
day. I'm sorry.
Are you scared to lose them?
I mean, here again, I mean, if given the opportunity for me to be back in there, I'm going to be in a position where we'll do our best to work with whoever's there. But I will also say this current group has worked extremely hard, and we've worked well together. And so, yeah, I mean, on one hand, I just hate to see that change, but that's what that's the part of the American, that's what we do.
That's
it's
part of
just-
democracy,
That's
right?
that's part of it. So
That's
I'm
just
willing
the
to.
Cookie crumbles.
We're
That's just
willing
the
to
way
take
the
on that
cookie
challenge,
crumbles.
however that is, So,
So when you gonna pass the torch to the younger generation? I'm messing with your audience. So
all right. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on today. So.
Yeah,
Listen,
definitely.
awesome.
Yeah.
I do want to say this last thing is our
Sure.
question. There, I personally want to thank you.
Sure.
It's not every day you walk into a city and you try to do the right thing. You see people there, you know the right thing to do to try to help, whether it's your culture, whatever it is. To be able to walk into a mayor's office who does not know you from anywhere,
Mhm.
allow you to come sit in and listen to what you had to say.
Mhm.
I thank you.
Yeah. Well,
All right, and that right there speak of the men you are, your character. So I personally thank you, and
Well, I
your
appreciate
entire staff. I mean, the experience
Sure.
has just been phenomenal.
Yeah.
It literally shows me what a true administration and people serving the city really looks
Yeah.
like.
Well, I appreciate it, Jimmy, and I appreciate both of you guys, and you know, so that's what we're here for. So thank y'all.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, thank you for keeping an open door to us,
Sure.
Mr. Mayor. Me personally, being here over 20 years, seeing before and after effects. I mean, you just have to come outside to be able to
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
all the good things that we have going on here as a community. So, just want to thank you as
Yeah.
well.
Well, we thank you guys, and you know, as we've stated earlier, you know, we're not perfect. This administration is not perfect, but you know, our heart's in the right place. We love this community. We love our people, and you know, we you know try to stay humble in everything we do, and you know, yeah, we have to brag every once in a while on certain things, but there's no one person in this city that deserves all the credit for anything that's happened. You know, you know, you move the needle at all, it takes a team of people, and so I've just been proud to be a part of it.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Can you
Thank
let
y'all.
the people that's back home trying to decide on who to vote for between you and your opponent? Can you look at the camera and let them know right here?
Right here, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Why,
mean,
why should they vote
you
for
know,
you? You
yeah. I
know?
mean, I think our last 12 years in office, you know, we've worked really hard and we've brought the team together to do and to accomplish a lot of things. And so, you know, I would hope our record kind of stands for itself. But, you know, anybody between now and Tuesday that has any questions that we can help answer if we've not talked about it today, you know, I'm happy. If I don't know the answer, we've got folks that can certainly find it for you. But you know, I would love the opportunities to move the city forward as we go into the next 4 years. So I would just appreciate the consideration, and again, I hope our track record sort of stands for itself.
Well, thank you, Mayor, and thank you for coming here on the Voice of the Ville. It's a special episode to have our mayor in here, and I
Absolutely.
really enjoy it. Thanks for accepting the invitation.
Absolutely,
Big
Yeah.
appreciate you
Tuesday,
guys. Thank all
August
y'all.
26th, y'all. We're excited for it. Make sure you guys go out there, exercise your privilege, and from
4 more
Tuesday
years.
and
4 more
beyond,
years.
4 more years.
Yep.
Mayor's door is open to you if you guys have any questions.
4 more years.
He's a real, yeah,
Is
four
that what
more.
I heard echoing?
4 more
It might
years.
be 8 more years.
8 more
Yeah,
years.
man, that's what I heard.
Don't forget Tuesday, Mayor. You're going to be wearing out free food, y'all. Free food.
Free food.
Hydrant City.
Hydrant City Grill.
Yeah, I was planning on being at the Justin party, but now I guess I'm going to Mayor Tracy.
Is it all you can eat?
There'll be plenty there.
Awesome show. Thank you so much for your time,
Thank you,
Mayor.
guys.
Cut
Thank
that
you.
off, okay?
Awesome. All right.